What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns doing a trailer breakdown of the districts of New Bordeaux. And this is apparently a part one of two. So part two will be coming eventually. And I just want to say a couple things real quick before we get into this trailer breakdown. And this is an awesome trailer, by the way. It is linked below in the description section for you to check out yourself. Shout out to all of you for getting us over 1,900 subscribers. We are well on our way to the 2K mark, and I'm very, very excited about that. So that is big thanks to each and every one of you, proud members, new and old, of the GeauxBurns Nation as we continue to grow. So we have a new video to check out, the districts of New Bordeaux, and I'm really excited about it. What? Come on, Mafia! Damn it. Okay, so later on today, I'm going to do a trailer breakdown of Vito Scaletta, the throwback. I had a feeling that that was going to drop maybe this week because, you know, we've been getting the other ones like Lincoln Clay the Soldier, let's see, Cassandra the Voodoo Queen. Last week it was Burke the Anarchist. But I thought because of this trailer dropping today, the Districts trailer of New Bordeaux, that this is what the video was going to be about today, and then eventually they would drop the Vito Scaletta throwback video maybe next week or so. So anyways, we will do this later on today. Okay, so I got my work cut out for me. But let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? By the way, if you hear any loud noises in the background, it's also because I got a construction crew working up in my attic, getting my AC and heating units fixed. It's been leaking for far too long, and I'm getting it dealt with. And the only day they could come was today. So it's all about timing, right? But anyways, this trailer opens with the U.S. Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, Tape 1, The Districts of New Bordeaux, August 25th, 1971. And, of course, a pretty cool shot of the hearing where you got members, I guess, of the Senate, and you got some camera guys over here on the left, and they're asking Donovan questions about, you know, why he was doing what he was doing. And he says, "I'm not going to tell you, assholes." I like Donovan. He's awesome. Because, like, in another trailer, you know, they asked him, like, "Did you help Lincoln Clay murder Sal Marcano?" And then he's like, "You're goddamn right I did." So, you know, he's pretty cool for a CIA guy. I like Donovan. He's pretty sweet. So going back to the head of the hearing, you see in the background this board that we've seen a few times in other trailers. You got Sal Marcano at the top. You got Lou here. And I think this is another one of Sal's brothers. And, of course, I think this is Olivia, I believe. That's Olivia Marcano. I think I could be wrong about that. Anyways, continuing with this discussion, that you'll just have to go and check out the video yourself because I'm going to miss a few things because there's like 100 screenshots we're going to go over in this video. That's how much information was in this trailer alone. Okay, so first off, it shows off the districts again, and we've seen that before at E3. And what we didn't see was this area at the very top of the map called Lewis Springs. Now, I don't think they would give it a name if there was no way that we could eventually go up there to Lewis Springs. So Lewis Springs exists north of New Bordeaux. And I guess the massive lake in between is going to be Pontchartrain. Or they'll call it something, but in real life it's called Pontchartrain. But anyways, there's the long-ass Pontchartrain Bridge. And you go down, and of course you start seeing the different districts of New Bordeaux, Frisco Fields, which is where all the well-to-do live, along with Sal Marcano, Point Verdun, which is where the Irish reside, including Burke, Tikva Harbour, the French Ward, where all the fun happens. Downtown, yep, there's downtown. And of course, panning further down, you see, let's see, Tikva Harbour here, Berkeley Mills there, Rey Hollow to the left, River Row where Vito is, then South Downs, which is probably where I'd probably want to live. You know, I think that Frisco Fields is a little too uppity for my tastes. But anyways, we're going to get a look at all of the districts in this trailer breakdown, including the Bayou Phantom, which is obviously the largest of the districts. And I guess it's the one that a lot of people are really excited about because you're going to be able to explore the bayou and have a lot of fun doing so if you don't run into gators. Okay, so here's another cool scene of a reel-to-reel and Donovan operating it, you know, listening to conversations, doing his CIA thing, and of course meeting up with Lincoln Clay, passing on some intelligence, some knowledge, regarding this target that Lincoln Clay is going to take out in the game. And of course, before Lincoln Clay walks away after he's taken out his target, made his kill, I guess he does this out of tradition, closing the eyes. All Assassin's Creed like, right? Okay, so anyways, the next trailer, the next clip is, of course, Rey Hollow. And we know a lot about Rey Hollow because this is where you start off in the game. This is home of Sammy Robinson, his son Ellis, the Black Mob, as well as Cassandra and the Haitian Syndicate. And they're vying for control of the Rey Hollow. And, of course, a really cool image outside of Sammy's with a sweet-looking mural. You got a priest, because, it's predominantly Catholic in New Bordeaux. You have, let's see, a lot of jazz going on right here. You got a riverboat, pedestrians walking around on just a typical day in Rey Hollow in New Bordeaux. Another really cool image of people walking down the street. And this appears to be a music shop. And I think that's some Jimi Hendrix right there. Sweet. I'll have to swing by and pick that up. Give me the Jimi Hendrix experience. Okay, so anyways, a lovely evening here in Rey Hollow. A lot of classic cars driving by. And I believe this is the missionary over here, I think. Sammy's wife, his late wife's missionary. I think that's what that is. And continuing, you see Lincoln driving in his sweet muscle car down the road. And let's see. Oh, yeah. And I don't know who this guy is, but it's very possible that this might be Richie Doucette. Now, we talked about Richie Doucette yesterday. And let's see. What was it? It was in one of the videos I posted yesterday. Could have been the Cassandra video where after, let's see, Sal Marcano took out Sammy Robinson, the Black Mob. He put this guy named Richie Doucette in charge of Rey Hollow. And Richie Doucette is in charge of the Dixie Mafia. And so this could be Richie Doucette about to meet his maker, courtesy of Lincoln Clay. Now we're moving on to Frisco Fields, the uppity, snobby, high-class society types of New Bordeaux. And I think this, because I've seen this mansion several times, is quite possibly Sal Marcano's pad. That's a nice little crib, isn't it? It's not too shabby. Okay, so here's old Sal Marcano, all happy, in a very good mood. And here's an interesting scene right here. Okay, so you have Sal's son, and you have this snooty woman here looking at Lincoln. That's right, that's Lincoln Clay. So obviously this scene takes place before Sammy Robinson, Ellis, and the Black Mob are killed by Sal Marcano, indicating that Lincoln was actually doing some work for Sal Marcano and his son Giovanni. So they're hanging out, having a good time. And, I don't know if Lincoln's playing his muscle, but she wasn't too pleased by, having Lincoln look down at her as some little eye candy. Oh, well. And I don't know who this guy is. It's obviously her husband. This could be one of Sal's brothers, the one we haven't heard about. So I don't know. Or it just could be two random NPCs walking by. Then again, these could be two important people to the story of Mafia 3. So anyways, it's quite interesting to see this event, this mission that will take place in Mafia 3 before what happens at Sammy's with the betrayal of Sammy Robinson and Ellis by Sal Marcano and the Black Mob, which leaves Lincoln Clay for dead. And what's interesting is it's Giovanni who shoots Lincoln, and obviously he's not a very good shot. All right, so here's an interior shot. I don't know if this is Sal Marcano's mansion and they're having some sort of soiree, or is this just an inside of a hotel or something, but it's still obviously up in Frisco Fields, the nicer part of New Bordeaux, and you can tell by the nice clothes people are wearing, how clean it is, how luxurious it is. And of course, there's also an ugly side to Frisco Fields as well with the Southern Union. And I'm guessing this guy is the Grand Wizard or the Grand Master of the, let's see, the Southern Union, because he's wearing this red robe as opposed to the white robes. And of course, the Confederate flag with their logo in the middle, and somebody either being, I don't think anyone's being crucified. I think it's just a typical burning cross, which unfortunately is a symbol of hatred throughout American history. And of course, I don't know if this is also the Southern Union, and it could be also the see, the Dixie Mafia. I nearly lost my train of thought there. The Dixie Mafia, because there's two different groups, apparently. I've had this discussion with a few of you, and some of you are convinced that there are two different groups. The Dixie Mafia, which seem to want to work with almost anybody, but they're kind of racist as well. But then, of course, you have the Southern Union, which are, like, extremely racist, and they're, a bunch of white supremacists. But, I mean, this could also be just Southern Union thugs attacking a poor defenseless guy during the daytime as well. So I don't know if this is just 2 more or 3 more members of the Southern Union or part of the Dixie Mafia. That I really can't tell you, because I don't know if they're one and the same or 2 different groups. I think they're 2 different groups. But anyways, let us continue. Now we're moving over to the fun part of town, the French Ward. This is where the fun is. All right, so we got a parade going on, a lot of fun. And yeah, this is what usually happens in New Orleans, especially during Mardi Gras. They got the parade out. They got people, throwing out beads and all sorts of things. People having fun. And, of course, this guy's having a real good time. Look at that sexy beast right there. And this scene I had to edit, okay? I had to censor it just a little bit because the couple of ladies on the stage are kind of topless. So that's why there's a bit of censoring in this scene. Just giving you a heads up and advice, because there's going to be a lot of adult themes in Mafia 3. That's why I think it has an M rating. Plus, it's going to be bloody and gory. A lot of friendly words as well, like colorful metaphors. And obviously, there are boobies. And poker. All right, I love me some poker, as most of you know. Now, I don't know if this is actually going to be a thing in Mafia 3. That's something that Music Man was inquiring about in my last Q&A video. But apparently, you'll be able to see NPCs playing poker at least, but maybe, just maybe, we'll also get to partake in some poker. That would be kind of interesting if that was just like a little side thing you could do for fun while in the French Ward, or at the Riverboat, or at the Paradiso Hotel and Casino. Okay, so this is an interesting scene. I'm guessing this is a dominatrix of sort, or it could be Olivia. I don't know who it is. Maybe it's just a regular NPC. And obviously this guy has paid for a certain fetish, and that's exactly what he's getting from her. A little smacky around. So, hey, if that's what you're into, hey, that's more power to you. Okay, so anyways, let's see. Lincoln Clay jumps in, and I don't know if this call girl or lady of the night is alive or dead, but this guy that Lincoln Clay is choking with a shotgun is about to be, most likely. And, of course, Lincoln Clay blasted this fool to bits right here with his shotgun. And now we're moving down to Bayou Phantom, one of the largest districts in New Bordeaux, and the wildest, because it's not like the city. It's out in the woods, out in the bayou, the swamp, and it's absolutely beautiful. And you're going to be able to use boats, by the way. Boats are confirmed for Mafia 3, so you're going to be able to use vehicles like cars and trucks. You'll even have a fleet of your own vehicles to keep and upgrade. That would be really awesome. But at the same time, you're also going to be able to use boats to get around Bayou Phantom and, of course, the river as well. And maybe even Lake Pontchartrain. Okay, so I think this is a very similar scene to the reveal trailer a year ago, but they just redid it in the game. Because I think this is the same character that Lincoln Clay drags out to the Bayou Phantom and murders him, and then, of course, lets the gator take him. But they must have redone this scene entirely. Then again, this could be a scene that takes place before Sammy Robinson's murdered and betrayed by Sal Marcano. So, I mean, that's a possibility as well. But anyways, this is a different scene because Lincoln Clay is wearing a different outfit. He's wearing his jacket as opposed to a short sleeve and a pair of pants. Here he's in his war mode, so these are probably 2 separate scenes, obviously. And somebody obviously has become gator food, which is the best way to dispose of bodies in New Bordeaux. Okay, next we're moving up to Point Verdun, the home of the Irish, including Burke, as well as Duffy's Pub. All right, so this is another beautiful shot of Point Verdun. And you have Lincoln Clay driving around in this sweet-ass muscle car. It's a beautiful town. I mean, district. up here in Point Verdun. And basically, each district is its own town in a way, just part of one big major city. And of course, we find out a little bit more about Sweetwater. It's obviously what is kind of like Bontom. It's one of the alcoholic beverage companies in New Bordeaux. So that's what Sweetwater is all about. Making the booze, you know, for people to have a little something to relax after a long, hard day of work. Or if they're down in the French ward looking for a good time. And of course, some guy getting the crap beat out of him by some fools. And if you hear the noise in the background, please disregard it. Like I said, I have construction guys working upstairs in my attic. So this guy is getting the shit beat out of him. Why? I have no idea. Obviously, he did something to piss this guy off for some rhyme or reason. All right, so and Lincoln Clay is preparing to take some of these fools out. So it looks like he's going to end up taking over maybe Sweetwater and eventually Point Verdun. And my advice to you, once you take over Point Verdun, give it to Burke, okay? You know, that's kind of his turf. So give that to Burke, and maybe he'll give you a, I don't know. He won't be mad if you give him his turf. I'll just say that much. Anyway, so now we're moving over to South Downs, and this looks like a really nice part of town. Now, it's not all uppity and snooty like Frisco Fields, but it's still really nice middle class, maybe upper middle class area. And if I had to pick a district to live in, it would probably be South Downs. It just looks really sweet. And of course, another cool shot of Lincoln Clay cruising around now in South Downs at sunset in his awesome muscle car. And another image at night in South Downs by the cinema. And of course, there's like a little, like a central gazebo here in the middle of South Downs, most likely. Another really awesome shot of South Downs. And of course, you got a shady side of South Downs as well, just like you do with Frisco Fields. And I believe these guys are kind of at the front door for a little cage fighting. That's right. I guess this is where you're going to be going for the cage fighting, is South Downs. So if you're in the mood for a little cage fighting, I believe it's also one of the missions you have to do. South Downs is where you'll be doing that fun. Okay, and here's a really interesting shot of Lincoln Clay, all sweaty, and he has that device that allows him to communicate, that prototype that Donovan gave him. And he's kind of doing a similar scene that Sal Marcano did to Sammy's bar. You know, he's got the lighter, and he's setting this place ablaze as he continues his war against Sal Marcano in New Bordeaux. And of course, we move over to Berkeley Mills, which is one of the industrial parts of town. And you can see that, you know, there's a lot of infrastructure out here. A lot of hard work gets done over here. And, you know, it's time for a big break. You know, a few years of smoking those, and you'll have a very, very long break. Much shorter than you expected with your lifespan. But anyways, obviously this is not the nicer part of town. This is where, you know, a lot of work gets done. Industrial factories, etc. And of course, Lincoln Clay once again cruising around. This time he's in Berkeley Mills with his muscle car. And of course, then the other like hard-working area is Tikva Harbour, which is where, you know, the ships come in, you know, where they're coming and going, dropping off crates and shipments, picking up, dropping off. And, you know, it's just another place where a lot of people are working really, really hard in order to barely make a living. And of course, this is the big sign for Paradiso Hotel and Casino, which hopefully will be a thing in Mafia 3. I think it will be, because it's been mentioned in several of the New Bordeaux Tribune articles that we've gone over. And anyway, so another shot of the men working, loading crates onto trucks, and, you know, just doing what you do, you know, working at the harbor. And of course, there's always some interesting stuff going on at the harbor as well. A little surgery, I guess. I don't think this guy is a certified doctor, though. I don't think he went to a doctor's school. I don't think he has the right degrees to be doing this. And anyways, a little bit of a scuffling here going on. I don't know what this is all about, but obviously that wasn't very nice at all. Okay, so here's something kind of cool. And this is still, I guess, in Tikva Harbour. Explosion! Yes, some nice big explosion action going on. Now, I have no idea if Lincoln Clay had something to do with that explosion. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. You know, it could be anyone else. We don't need to judge Lincoln Clay, okay? There's no real proof that he was responsible for that, but he probably was. Okay, moving on to downtown. Yes, we're heading to downtown and the lovely skyline of New Bordeaux, and this is where, you know, the tycoons, the well-to-do, the richy riches are. You know, that's where, you know, the buildings and the businessmen, the CEOs reside, and all the big money flows through downtown. And it's also quite beautiful. You see this beautiful bridge. And, of course, Lincoln Clay once again driving around, enjoying the nightlife in downtown New Bordeaux. You got Bucks over here. Quality clothing. So I know a lot of people are debating about whether or not we should have clothing customization options in Mafia 3. But at the same time, I think that if we do, it's going to be very limited. And I think it's just going to be where you could use it between missions. That's just my theory. I think people get really, really torn up both ways regarding the clothing. Now, personally, I would like to see clothing options in Mafia 3, but at the same time, I think I've seen a lot of infighting in some of those videos I've posted, and it's just, I don't know. Why do people get so torn up over a video game is beyond me, especially when it comes to something like clothing options. And like I said, I want to see clothing options, but at the same time, it's not a deal breaker. I still think it's going to be a great game either way. But hopefully, there'll be some clothing options that you'll be able to dress up Lincoln Clay as in between missions. But certain missions, obviously, he's going to wear what Hangar 13 says he's going to wear, depending on the mission. But anyways, there's a protest happening in downtown, and I believe this is a civil rights protest. And unfortunately, what usually happens whenever there's a civil rights protest, the New Bordeaux police show up. Yes, they do. Even though they weren't doing anything, they were exercising their First Amendment right. They weren't looting or pillaging. They were just protesting, exercising freedom of speech, but obviously that wasn't the case for them, sadly, in 1968. So the reason why I think it's civil rights protest is because the sign says equal something, justice. Anyways, so, yep, that's a sad reality when it comes to some of the events that transpired during the civil rights era. All right, so next we got some mafioso action, I'm guessing. This guy obviously did something to piss off the mob, and this person did as well. And now I think that is the Paradiso Hotel up there, and I think this bodyguard is on duty, you know, keeping an eye on things. Either it's under construction or it's already built and it's got people going in there. But anyways, something happened to him. And once again, I don't want to lay blame on Lincoln Clay, but I just get the feeling that maybe, just maybe, Lincoln Clay was also responsible for that. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it, though. I'm just saying. Okay, so anyways, moving on to River Row, and I believe this is where we're going to find Vito Scaletta. And here's a really cool shot of River Row. I've got the Vito Scaletta trailer on my mind right now because I haven't even watched it yet. But like I said, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to do the screenshots of it later. And it'll be up in a few hours. I don't know when I'll get it up, but I will get it up sometime later on today. I really wish that they would have just waited till tomorrow. But hey, you know, it is what it is. All right, so obviously some work happens in River Row as well. So it's kind of an industrial zone too, and probably a lower class as well. And you see Lincoln Clay cruising around River Row in his muscle car once again. He likes doing that. You know, he likes, you know, kicking ass, taking names, and, you know, cruising around the city in his sweet ride. Okay, and a lot of stabby action is happening in these scenes. Stab! Stab! And, of course, back to the 1970, 71 tape, where you have this Senate hearing between the Senate and, of course, Donovan. And they were basically asking how was Lincoln Clay capable of taking control of New Bordeaux in 1968. And Donovan responds like, well, Lincoln Clay understood something that very few did, is that in order to take control of New Bordeaux's criminal organization, you had to have power. And, of course, Lincoln Clay gets that power through revenge and alliances with Cassandra, Vito, and Burke in order to take down the Sal Marcano crime family. And, of course, my kind of politician, one that's about to be roasted. This is a scene we already saw from, the E3 trailer or the E3 playthrough. But I thought it was worth keeping because, hey, who doesn't like a politician on fire? Okay, so anyways, this is an interesting scene, a black and white video of this guy that was burned alive, crucified, and we'll probably get an idea who this guy was in a moment. And of course, going forward, you got Lincoln Clay wreaking havoc, destroying shit as usual. I mean, that's part of the fun in the game, right? Okay, and next, of course, is a chase between Lincoln Clay and some thugs in this green muscle car. And it's not going to end so well for them. And of course, Lincoln and Burke, they're hanging out, you know, bashing somebody's head in with the butt of a rifle. You know, good times, good times. And of course, this guy, he's about to get knifed as well by Lincoln Clay. He loves knifing people too. I don't know. It's just I guess it's just a hobby of his. And of course, here's the guy that Burke and Lincoln were bashing in the face with the butt of a rifle. Of course, this poor mime's about to be blasted to bits. Of course, the mime did have a shotgun, so he's not an ordinary mime. He's obviously in disguise as a mime, but he's about to meet his maker. And of course, explosions, the aftermath of the car chase. It looks like Lincoln won, and the thugs, well, they got blown to bits. Rip. Okay, and of course, a boat getting blown to bits by Lincoln Clay as well. And Lincoln Clay bashing the crap out of a thug. And I think we've seen this in a previous trailer, but it's still funny to see all this action sequence happening where Lincoln's just knifing people, shooting people, bashing people's heads open with the butt of a rifle or just with a shotgun to the face and, you know, blowing up cars and boats, wreaking havoc. And of course, this, I believe, is the Grand Wizard or the Grand Master of the Southern Union. Being, I think he was killed first, maybe stabbed in the throat, and then, of course, his body tied up to the cross, crucified, and burned at the stake. And, of course, that is the end of Tape 1, and I guess we're going to see Tape 2 eventually. I don't know if that's going to be a thing or not, to be honest. It may have just been a teaser of some of the tapes that we will see as cutscenes and between, you know, main story arcs throughout Mafia 3. So let me know below in the comment section, what do you think of the Districts trailer? And which of the Districts is your favorite now? And I realize it's been nearly 30 minutes. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. Let me know below in the comment section what you thought of this trailer. And I'm going to get to work on the Vito Scaletta throwback trailer breakdown, and that'll be up in a few hours from now, sometime this afternoon. So be on the lookout for that. And of course, Mafia 3 is coming October 7th to Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC.